And welcome back to another episode of the Finn and G podcast, the home of dysfunctional rugby league. Now, we're your hosts, as always, Finn and
G.
Now, if you are doing us the pleasure of watching this on YouTube at Finn and G, you'll see a new setup. So we've upgraded.
It's looking pretty cool.
It is looking pretty cool. Yeah, it's looking pretty nice. And just quietly saves me a lot of fucking time. But that's neither here nor there. Now, if you're listening, I'm still a little bit hoarse, so my apologies. Although, it just kind of makes me sound like a man. So,
You're slightly more boyish today.
yeah, it's
coming back.
it is painful. I've been sick for about 2 weeks now. My throat, it's just not going away.
Won't get antibiotics. Typical man.
Not a pussy. I mean, I'm built diff. So, but look, it's on the mend. Was not on the mend, unfortunately, as we move right into it, is the tipping leaderboard. Now, I have been a little bit slack.
That's after round 18, and you are not in the lead.
Look, at time of upload, I will have uploaded the current leaderboard. I have been a little bit slack, partly busy, partly
Depressed,
upset, frustrated. Look, just to put you where my headspace is, I have tipped up to around 24. I did that Sunday morning after what can only be described as a very bitter end to quite a great Saturday.
It was a good Saturday.
You know, if you trans forward us there, look, the highlight of the round, you know, and that's why this episode will be called Missed Opportunities. And there was a lot. There was a lot of missed opportunities on the weekend for myself, for the teams I tipped. Mostly for myself and mostly for the teams I tipped. Exclusively, actually. Look, it's just, you know, ever since I lost the lead, it's what's happening is I take one step forward and then it's 2 steps back.
The problem was, it's like you had a lead by 3. Like I was behind you by 3 tips, and now I'm ahead of you by 5.
It's because I had one
That's
stinker
an
round.
8-goal turnaround.
But that's the problem. I had one bad round.
Yeah.
And that set me in a tailspin. I think in one round you climbed that 3 over me.
I climbed 2.
Yeah, I don't know. Neither here nor there. But either way, I had a bad round. Unfortunately, Georgia hasn't had a fucking bad round yet. Oh, wait, she did. Oh, except that was the time I went 1. So it kind of cancelled itself out. So unfortunately, this week, it's no different. She made the late decision.
I thought the Sharks are desperate. I so thought they were going to win.
Yeah, read into that with a little bit of excellent gaslighting from myself. Change from the Titans to the Sharks. Fantastic. They win. I'm only down 3 now. We're feeling good. I'd already was pretty fucking certain I was going 8 for 8. That was the rumors, and I bought them. Turns out they were lies. Now, I went the Broncos to beat Penrith. And that wasn't silly.
Penrith don't lose 2 in a row. It is silly.
They don't lose 2 in a row, but I bought into the desperation. And I knew Reece Walsh, I was backing him in to come back. And he did.
It
was 6-4 half time.
Ended 20-6.
No, ended 14-6.
14-6,
so
sorry.
Penrith did Penrith, which was a bit frustrating. A bit of a silly bet. Whatever, I just wanted to believe. And I think that's what's hurt me this year. I go back down to 4. Whatever. I was already at 4. Who gives a fuck? I don't care anymore. Then Saturday happens. You have a Golden Point thriller. Dogs and the Wires. Brilliant game.
Such a good game.
Excellent game. You move on to Melbourne beating the Tigers. Thanks for fucking coming. Who didn't see that coming? You know, that was fun. Then you move on to Cowboys and Eagles. A game which the Cowboys should have won by 20 or 30 points.
The Eagles were desperate.
They should have won by 20 or 30 points. Let's just be clear about that. Anyway, they find themselves down with 3 minutes to go, 18-20. And at this point, I'm still sick, but I'm feeling a little bit better. And I've gone, hey, this is another swing round. This is why it was missed opportunities. There was 3 games we went different this week. I got the first one right. Okay, I'm down 3. I get the second one right, I'm down 2. I get the third one right, I'm down 1. Unfortunately, I didn't get the second one, so I'm back down 4. I can go back up to 3 this one. Scott Drinkwater is going, hey, Finton, love the podcast. How's this? I'm going to kick one from 45 out, nonchalant as shit, and just sail it across the goal. Thanks for coming, bruh. I was pretty sure he shouted us out.
I'm pretty sure.
Pretty sure. Confirm. Fantastic, 20 all. No worries. Hey, Chad, you scored a try after bombing one, and you've just signed with the Sydney Roosters. Let's see if they're going to get their money's worth. Here's a field goal from 15 metres dead in front. I don't want it. No thanks. I'm going to miss, and I'm going to miss bad. I'm also then going to have another shot, and I'm also going to miss really fucking bad. Then Cherry Evans, I'm shitting my pants at this point. He somehow misses, which never happens. You certainly know he won't.
Right in front.
From right in front. You certainly know he's not going to miss twice.
Yeah.
So please don't give him the ball again. I'm not sure if Chad missed another one yet. Or
He
waited.
did.
He might have waited until golden point. though.
He waited till golden point.
He waited until golden point to miss his third field goal. And then again, please don't forget Scott Drinkwater. Our man. 45 meters. No fucking worry. No. Chad's missed 3. Hey, Scott, cool. I'm going to give Val 2 shots, and I'm going to make sure that he kicks them further away from the post than he actually does to the post. I'm going to make sure he lined up from 40 meters out. He kicked it 20 meters. He got it 1 meter off the ground, and he kicked it 45 meters to the fucking left of the post. It's the worst kick I've ever seen in my life. It was genuinely... If Jason Taumalolo had have kicked that, I would have been shocked. I would have went, that makes sense. So that was frustrating because then Cherry Evans, he nails one. So 5 missed field goals to 1. And then that game nearly killed me. I was sent immediately into a coughing fit. I was frustrated, upset. I didn't want to talk. I couldn't talk.
You didn't want to talk. You got to feel better for Nico, though.
No, I don't care about Nico. I care that now I'm down 5. And in a moment of despair, pittiness, I tipped all the way until round 24. But, like a phoenix, I will rise from the ashes. Got to give a special mention to a loyal friend and loyal listener, one Zachary. Now, he holds the title of quite easily the worst tipper I've ever seen in my life.
The worst tipper ever.
Now, I myself have...
Sorry, Zach.
Sorry, but it's facts. Now, I myself have gone perfect this year already.
Once, yeah.
Was that necessary?
I'm just saying you had one perfect round. Yeah, I haven't had a perfect round. My perfect round was 5 for 5. I haven't had a perfect round.
So I've been one perfect before. Now, Zach, again, worst tipper I've ever seen. He goes perfect this round.
Congratulations.
That, a little bit of excellence, moved him from last place to tied last place. So, brilliant tipping there, and that just inspired me. It was like watching a wounded animal get up for one last gallop. You know, it's like a horse, a racehorse, and he's got a bung leg. He's done his toe, and the owner's coming in. You can't race anymore. I'm gonna have to put you down.
And
he goes, no.
Still 11 points behind me.
Was that comment more important than my horse analogy?
Sorry, keep going. Just the first take, I think you'd gone through all of our key takeaways in this amount of time. And
Zach
this take
was looking
the first.
a shotgun down the barrel, and he said, "No, master, not today." And he got up and he galloped.
Ding.
He galloped one last run.
Let's move on.
And it was brilliant. And now I'm going to do the same.
Wish you the best of luck. Ding.
So it's pretty cool to know I'm going perfect the rest of the season. Don't rush me. It's the worst thing you could ever do. Now, because it will only make me slower. Now, moving on to points of the round. One thing straight off the bat I want to give a takeaway is the reffing performance. Now, there was a lot of hullabaloo from one Ashley Klein's Game 2 Origin performance, which can only be described as shithouse.
Not great. He just did not let the game flow.
Yeah.
So many penalties.
Yeah, that's why I described it as shithouse.
Yeah.
And then you described it as not great. I thought shithouse was a bit more.
Okay, all right, sorry. It was really bad.
Just say it was shithouse. We say there's one way to describe it and you want to give me 4 other words. Just say it was shithouse.
Fine, a shithouse.
Jesus. Now, look, Jesus couldn't save Ashley and he couldn't save that game. The refs this round, though, saved their what's the word?
Themselves?
Reputation. Particularly the Bulldogs Warriors game. Now I can't. For the life of me, the referee's name is gone missing. But brilliant performance. And you see people complaining, "Oh, he didn't make calls. He didn't do this." Well, if he makes the calls, you're going to complain, and if he doesn't, you complain. I personally thought it was excellent. He let the game flow. They all did. And he didn't decide it. He didn't get in the way. He wasn't whistle happy. He just let the game happen.
It was just
If it had to be called, he'd call. And if it didn't have to be called, they'd let it slide. And that was every single round, 7 for 7 this week. They made decisions. I've never seen less bunker calls.
it was so good. They trusted their decisions.
Exactly. Even the touchies. The fucking touchies. This year, they've been stoned out of their mind. Haven't done a single thing.
Namely, call forward passes.
Oh my God, even if we're right or wrong, and just quietly, some of them were not right. But anyway, including that Cowboys game, but we won't get back into that one. They made the decision, and that's what you want to see. You don't care if obviously you want it right, so yes, you do care if it's right or wrong, but you just want to see them making decisions. Hey, you don't want to go to the bunker and you watch it 47 times. Casey Badger in the bunker, I can't tell if she's the best bunker official or the worst, because that woman will take one look at any decision and she just says that. And you're watching it and you're going, well, hang on, Casey. Do you not want to watch it twice? It should just be knock on, forward, out, knock on, forward, shepherd, offside.
You can't bunker review forward passes.
That bitch is crazy. Because like you're watching, especially like in the Knights Raiders games, there were some really crucial calls, and she was just one look, Casey. Yeah, knock on. And you're like, well, I don't think it was. Anyway, she stuck to her guns. Now, someone who did stick to their guns, unfortunately, to break the 7 for 7 was one Ashley Klein. Now, I think he genuinely...
The most disrupted half of footy I've ever watched.
I think he genuinely... And in a milestone game, shout out Jared, and shout out getting Sinbin. On your big day.
Everyone knew that was going to happen.
Oh my God, it was the surest money you could have. Honestly, even if it had got to the 79th minute and he hadn't done anything wrong, they would have just sent him anyway.
Yeah.
They would have sent him for something.
He was begging not to go too. But everyone knew. Even his teammates did.
Oh, everyone knew. Even Ashley, you know. Let's say he was a ref who didn't want to give a penalty. He'd still find a way. But yes, there was probably more penalties and 6 against in that one half of football than the other 7 games combined. And I don't think that's exaggerated.
No, it was insane.
It was crazy. So I probably don't want to see him in Origin 3. All due respect.
Surely not.
Give it to Ziggy.
Yeah, had a great game.
Give it to Ziggy. Nah, give it to Adam G. But,
Adam G.
I do like Ziggy. He's got a fun name. But look, moving on from that, one of the other key takeaways in this round, as we already mentioned, 2 Golden Point thrillers. And I believe a combined 5, 6, just ballpark, a minimum of 10 missed field goals in two games.
That's crazy.
And a minimum 5 or 6 from in front, 20 meters out. Someone who would love watching that is one Nicholas Hines. I think that is the ultimate vindication right there.
That he got absolutely crucified for missing.
Crucified. How could you ever miss from in front?
How could you? No one would ever do that. Then Matt Burton, then Chad twice.
Yeah, Burton missed from in front. Martin missed from in front. Cherry Evans missed from in front. Kick more field goals than fucking anyone. He missed from in front. Chad missed 1, 2, 3 times in front. Val Holmes, it's hard to even call his a miss. It was that bad. But, you know, even back, yeah, and it was just the ultimate irony was when Matt Burton missed from the identical spot on the same field.
Yeah.
He couldn't have been closer. And he hits the post.
And the one he gets hits the post and goes in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the ultimate vindication. In 2 weeks, it's the mindset that's different, which is why I understand that. Nico went 0 of 1. Matt Burton in 2 weeks has hit 2 field goals and he's missed 7. He's missed 6. About 7. But the difference is he wants the ball. And he doesn't give a shit if he misses 40. He's just going to kick him. He
was just... That's one thing you could give to Chad too. He just...
Well, at least one of them. I know he can hit it from 65. Chad, I don't know if he can hit it from 5. I mean, holy. So that, made me feel good about the Roosters. Fucking please play him at 7. Please.
Oh, I hope not.
Holy. But unfortunately, news coming out, Nico has done his ankle. So
that's not good.
I'm almost certain it's a lie, though. I'm pretty sure he's just gorged himself silly watching that Saturday Night Football.
Well, Joey Johns he's going to teach a field goal masterclass.
Yeah, so I want Chad there, and I want
Val.
Well, Val, Val can hit him. He is clutch. Don't know what the fuck he was doing on Saturday. But yeah, so he can miss it. I'll give him one bad game. Chad, please. Hard to describe. Moving on. In big signing news, the Eels finally have their man. Jason Ryles, 4-year deal, agrees with the Eels.
What are your thoughts?
My initial thought is I don't care. Not really. Now, look, it's just interesting. It's hard to... It's because it's like it's dragged out for so long that you kind of just... Who gave a shit?
Yeah.
I was almost certain they were just going to end up having a call back. Poor old Brad. And so Jason Ryles has long been the apparent appointed heir to take over Bellamy. Unfortunately, Bellamy, for him, won't ever fucking retire. He's... Touch wood, he's going to be like Bennett. He's going to die in the stool. So I never bought that he was really going to be a replacement. So I guess it's good. He's been at the Roosters in Melbourne, so he's obviously respected. He's very highly regarded.
So hopefully he can get some good change into the Eels because they definitely don't deserve to be where they are.
Yeah, they're way too good to be wooden spooners. So, I mean, hopefully it's good. I don't really care. But hopefully it's good. What isn't good is the Broncos and the Sharks. They are sliding, and they are sliding fast. The Broncos are 10th? The Sharks, I don't know what they're at.
They're 4th, but they're only...
Well, they're one more. If they're 4th, they're only one more loss from fucking 14th.
14th,
at this point.
yeah, that's what I mean. So it's like they're sliding quickly.
They're sliding quick, and if Nico is out, they've lost, I think, 4 or 5 straight. If Nico's out, they goes to 7. Broncos, watching them play Penrith.
Good signs.
Great signs. Sharks playing against Titans, terrible signs. So I'm more confident in a turnaround for one of them. Now, it's well been known, well been said in this podcast that the Sharks are a bad football team. They're a toilet team. They won't win a comp. When I witnessed them win at Shark Park, then I think they can win a comp. So
They just started off the season so well.
But again, beat bad sides. As soon as there's a little bit of adversity, it's been the story the last 3 years.
Yeah.
If you're bottom 8, thanks for coming.
I know, but then they beat the Roosters and they beat Melbourne. But then they got pumped 42-0 by Penrith, and that was kind of started the trajectory down.
Like 28 or 38-0 to the Tigers.
Yeah, I know.
2 or 3, so
yeah, it's not great.
Not great. What is great is listener questions. Now, again, we got so many to choose from. We've been over this every time. I don't want to waste time, so we'll just choose one out of a hat.
Anakin.
Now, Anakin, loyal listener, he has asked what our thoughts are, what our takeaways are on the current Dally M system. Now, not only that, but I'll also throw in who's your leader right now. Now, my initial thoughts on the Dally M system. I like the change from 3 points to 6. It used to be 1, 2, 3. Now it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, I like that.
You get a better range. You get a better feel. You can be a bit more accurate. And, if you're the 4th best player, now you get a point.
Yeah.
My issue with the Dally M system is... Now, I don't know how long... It's hard because it's obviously naturally geared towards backs.
Yeah.
Predominantly spine players. Predominantly fucking halves.
Halves,
like
yeah.
it's designed to reward the guys that touch on the ball most. If a team wins, usually you're gonna look at your 7 as
it's like
your most influential player.
Even like last year, like Ponga, for example.
Yeah, it's always a fullback.
Yeah.
It's always a spine player.
Yeah.
It always is. It's so. I think Jason Taumalolo, I think, was the last forward to win it. Like, it's super rare to win it, which rightly or wrongly. That's why I really like the VB Harder Index. I think that what they should have is with the Dally M, obviously they have positional awards, best winger, fullback, blah, blah, blah. That's great. You should have, it's like in the NBA, you have your MVP, or in the NFL is a bit better. In the NFL, you have your best attacking player, you have defensive player, your best safety teams. The NRL should be like, you should have your Dally M positions, you should have your Dally M forward, and your Dally M back.
Yeah.
because then your forwards are getting recognised. They're getting rewarded for their work. If you don't want to do that, you have your Dally M player, but then your VB hard-earned player, that should be just like the Dally M.
Yeah, I think so.
So it's like, again, but that right there, because the obviously the VB, the hard-earned index, fucking we should get sponsored by VB at this point. I've had to say 67 times. That's obviously geared towards your forwards. Of course, it's hit-ups, it's one-percenters, it's tackles, it's things.
Yeah.
They're the guys that are always top of the table. So that's my thoughts. You should have an attacking and you should have a forward MVP and a back MVP.
I agree. That sounds good.
Because then the forwards are getting rewarded. They're doing all the shit work, but they don't get another credit.
No.
You know, unless your name's Payne Haas or Paddy Carrigan, like you're not getting fucking. Who gives a shit? You're not getting noticed. So that's my thoughts.
Yeah.
Anything to add? Change? Different?
Not really. I don't really have many thoughts on this.
You should have just left out. I don't know any thoughts.
Thoughts.
Would have been more accurate. But just quickly, he didn't ask it, but who's your current leader? Gun to your head.
Not sure.
For me, it's Jerome Hughes.
Yeah. Him or
Tim
Angus
Crichton.
Crichton.
But again, does Angus Crichton get the votes since he's a forward?
No.
Is he getting 6 votes every time? That's why, guys, usually it's guys on bad teams or mediocre teams. It's their studs.
Well,
that
where
clean out
Jerome,
votes.
well, it's where the Jerome is because he's like been the only spine member for
Exactly.
Melbourne all year.
He would be getting 6 votes for Melbourne every single round. No one would be getting more votes for Melbourne
No.
than him every single round. So he would
No.
just climbing. So for me, it's Jerome Hughes. He's easily the Dally M 7.
Yeah.
Just like Crichton's easily the Dally M back rower. But he's my man at the moment.
He's playing excellent.
He's playing excellent. Moving on to my other man. It's State of Origin, chat. It's what you've been waiting for. It's what you're here for.
Excited.
It's exciting.
Go the Blues.
It's exciting, but at the same time, it isn't because it's like it's a foregone conclusion. Queensland,
I don't think it is.
16 to 12.
You didn't even pick David Fafita, so.
No, and look, with New South Wales, there's not much to say, which is great because usually it's
There's
flipped.
a lot to say about New South
Usually
Wales.
Queensland, it's
But
like
it's
whatever.
really nice. But it is good to see. The only probably thing to say about New South Wales is the chat about Olakau'atu. And it's like he's a fantastic player, but it's like they didn't use him, and it's just not the team for him to be used in. Unfortunately, for him, they just weren't able to use him effectively because they have Payne Hasses, Angus Crichtons, they have all of those kind of people. You didn't really, I don't know. I feel like Mitch Barnett is a better fit for the team than Olakau'atu.
Yeah, it's like when Hudson Young got dropped after game 1.
Yeah.
It's pardon me. Still feeling the effects of that Cowboys game. Yeah, it's a better fit.
Yeah.
Olakau'atu, when your back row is Liam Martin and Angus Crichton, and then you've got Cam Murray at 13, you've got Connor Watson who can come in at 13, you've got Cam Murray who can move to the edge, you've got Isaiah Yeo. So again, he's obviously reserved for your 6 or 7, but you don't need them coming off. So you're only really going to put Olakau'atu on there. He's not the best ball player in the world, so you're not going to put him at 13. You put him in the middle. Okay, well, wouldn't it make more sense to put a legitimate front row, back row, lock? Like, it's just a fit thing. Like, it's just a fit thing. With the way those guys are going, you don't really need them coming off, and you don't want them coming off. So I think his grunt works better. And again, it's not like Olakau'atu. He hasn't done anything bad, but he's not done anything incredible.
No.
What try or try assist or big tackle, like, do you know what I mean? So
No. And I
makes
am
sense.
glad Brady Best got the call. Hopefully his hamstring's okay, but it is nice to see that Matt Burton did get a call up as 18th man into the squad in case Bradman Best isn't okay.
Yeah, apparently hamstring tightness. By the time we release, you might have heard if there's been any more news on that. But yes, Burton on standby. It makes sense. Obviously, Latrell out, so now you know when New South Wales lose, it's going to be, oh my God, we didn't have Latrell, we didn't have Turbo, that's the only reason you won, just like apparently that's been the only reason for the last 2 years.
No, it's not.
Although in 2020, New South Wales had both those players.
Yeah, and we still lost. So
So, and they were getting marked by Edric Lee, Branko Lee, and Corey Allen. So there's that. Let's not forget that. But so maybe we should have called one of them up.
yeah.
Oh fuck, Billy. Ooh, I don't like that. Don't like that.
That's pretty much all to say on New South
Yeah,
Wales.
there's not much to say.
I just hope that they go out there and play how they did in game 2. Go out hard but controlled.
Yeah.
And I really hope they win. I really think they can win. It's going to be tough to do it in Suncorp. It's only ever been done a handful of times. But I think this is a team, even if we lose, Madge has built a much better culture in 2 games for them. And so if we do lose, well, I think it's going to be tight regardless. But I do think we have a chance of winning.
Yeah, New South Wales, they've got an identity for once.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for.
Tough,
Identity.
grinding, power. Well, not grinding, just tough
And powerful.
Big, strong, aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
They got an identity. And quickly back on that centre chat. Bradman Best makes sense. To me, it was between him or Swali.
Lee.
Now,
I don't think you were ever going to put Turbo in. He's only just come back.
just come back and he didn't look good.
No.
He didn't push himself at all. He might have had 4 runs. Like, I don't know the stats.
He's
but
one of
that's
the
what it
just.
looked
He's
like.
another just one of the unluckiest players
Yeah.
with injuries.
Yeah, and the problem with him is that hamstring's gone like 6, 7, 8
8
times.
times.
Yeah, so that no.
But
no world.
But I'm glad they picked Brady Best over Swali because again, Swali hasn't played in 4 weeks, and that would be his first game back because the Roosters, obviously they're in camp now anyway. So, and Bradman Best has been playing well for the Knights, and Matt Burton's been playing great too. So, I think they're good replacements.
Yeah, but at the same time, Matt Burton's a 6.
Yeah, I know.
He's been playing his best football this year. 6.
I know,
You're
at
throw him
6.
all of a sudden at centre.
I know, but he's played great in centre and Origin before.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah,
3 years
alright.
ago.
Yeah, I still think.
No, I get it, but I'm saying for me, he's behind Swali.
Yeah,
He's a great
that's
player,
true.
but again, the more you see him at 6, the less I want to just chuck him at centre.
7, yeah.
Historically, it's been one of New South Wales' weakness when they put guys out of
Out of
position,
position.
in position. Something
It's
I lied about,
true.
Madge. He's picking guys in their position. Freddie
That's true.
had a tendency to not do that.
It worked for 1 year, but
It worked once. Do you know what I mean?
it didn't really work again.
There's only certain players you can do that with.
Yeah.
Or, someone like the Trolls played centre a million times before. It's the...
Latrell you can do that with.
So yeah, I obviously, that was a bit harsh. I get it for Matt Byrne. He's in tricky form.
I was going to say.
I certainly wouldn't be
bit
shocked,
harsh. Jeez.
but he was always, for me, it was Bradman in front of him, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
And Swali, again, he only played 7 minutes, but he looked
He
fucking
looked
scary.
good for
But Tommy
those 7
Dean's pretty
minutes.
fucking stoked.
Yeah.
Although Braddy, I'd be pretty scared of him.
I'd be scared of him too.
Not bad, but yeah, I looking at their team,
It's pretty much all I have to say.
I
Except go the Blues.
I can't see them playing any different. On to Queensland, though, the interesting team. In Billy we trust. But I am left confused.
I'm left confused, and I don't even really care about who's in this team.
In Billy we trust. But
Is it really worth risking an Origin series over David Fifita's backflip on a signing? Because surely it cannot be on form.
Yeah, the big one is obviously Dave Fifita.
There is
being in the side
something else
still.
happening.
Clearly, it's not form. It's obviously not form. And everyone wants to get into it, pride and pride. Like, I didn't really give a shit about the reason, to be honest. To me, it has to be because of the contract saga. That's just sending a message that that's not how Queenslanders do it. If you want to be a part of this team, if you want to call yourself Queenslander, you want to wear this jersey, you hold yourself to a different standard. Because you watch his performance in the weekend, you watch his games, it's not form. He's doing the effort plays, he's doing the 1%ers, he's getting involved, he's getting active. It's not that at all. It can't be. Would I be this strong with my morals?
Probably not.
For something like that? No. I didn't give a shit about it. He signed with them. I could care
He
less.
literally wasn't even 24 hours.
So if it's not that, it's got to be something
Something
else.
else.
It has to be something deeper, something personal.
Cannot be on form. But he is like the person you needed.
I think so. I think he's our answer to Spencer Lino. I think he's impact. He's aggressive. I wouldn't play him at 80-minute back roll, but I'd be paying 30 minutes.
Hang with Spencer.
All out power. Yeah, when Spencer's on, you're on. Especially when you look at all the forwards
Yes.
that we're missing. Which, again, that's what was exposed last game. No Tino. No Flagler. No Gilbert. You've got Fafita. Use him in that role. The other changes... Look, again, I was critical of... Well, I said Reece had to have a big game.
And he did.
Which he did. And he smashed it. So after that...
It's
keep
his
him at
jersey.
fullback. Keep him at... Well, it's his jersey this year. But keep
Well,
him
but
at
that's what I
fullback.
mean for this game.
Yeah, keep him at fullback. Again, Queensland... No one will talk about it. No one will care. But we lose both wingers. Coates gone. Talangi
It's
gone.
huge losses, especially Coates. He's having a season.
He's having a great season. But again, the changes... I agree with him 100%. It's exactly what I said. Selwyn onto the wing, Gagai in a centre with him, leaves you Hammer and Val the other side.
Yeah.
Love that. And I love that matchup. I love Gagai on Bradman.
That's a good matchup.
There's a real mate versus mate, state versus state vibe to
Yeah.
this game. Because you got that matchup, which Gagai, he's been out the last 2 years. He's going to get up for this. He was terrific on the weekend. 2 tries, like 8 or 10 tackle breaks. Was awesome.
Yeah.
If anyone's going to know Bradman's game inside and out, it's going to be Gagai.
And then vice versa. Bradman was given one opportunity last year. Everyone thinks that we're doomed without Latrell. He's going to want a big game.
Yeah, he won a big game, but... and then you put him with Cobbo, seen that connection already. Love that. Val, fuck me dead. I don't want him having to defend, so put him on the wing. You know, he'll take the runs. Just leave him on the wing. And Hammer...
And no goal
him
kicking.
safe. No field goals.
No field goals. That's what I mean.
Well, we got Cherry Evans.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But
Yeah.
just saying.
Then the other changes is Sewer is out. Now,
It has to be for the...
well, Billy said that he's getting scans at the moment for a foot injury, so he hurt himself on the weekend, but he was also on report, so he could be suspended, but according to Billy, he's injured, so that makes sense, because he... Yeah, well, anyway, you've got Kurt Capel there starting in the back row. Nano's the other back row. You look at the bench. Kafusi's still there. The other change is Ponga. Now,
What are your thoughts?
it's interesting. It's very interesting. I don't like this team. I don't like it. I don't I don't know. It's
It's a weird team.
no, I don't want. Again, it's basically the exact same team. I don't hate it, but I think it could be better. And I think, well, what I would do first is you look at last game, the 4-pack dominated us.
Yeah.
Which just confuses me that we haven't gone for a forward pack. We haven't made any changes.
To the
And then the
forwards.
only change we did was bring Capel in.
Yeah.
That's it. We've gone back on the bench, and we'll get into that in a minute. So Billy's obviously gone. It's pretty clear. He's saying, I'm not going to match their power game.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give in. I'm going to keep to my game.
Yeah.
Which, again, for the last 2 series we've won, so it's hard to question him too much. Because
yeah.
every time you question him, usually you look wrong.
Wrong.
I look at...
It's either going to come off or it's not. It's going to be like game 2. I see.
Yeah. Well, I look at New South Wales and it was the power game. And Payne Haas had his best Origin game by far.
Ever.
And it really makes you appreciate Tino. Because Tino was our alpha, our enforcer. And every single game, he was the guy going toe-to-toe with Payne Haas. Mm-hmm. Payne Haas never looked that good in Origin.
Because he didn't have Tino.
We had Tino on him the whole time.
Yeah.
He nullifies him. He's the only forward that can nullify him. I think you have to change Ruben Cotter and Paddy Carrigan around.
Yes.
Again, it's 13-10, doesn't make a huge difference, but it means that Payne Haas will be marked by Paddy Carrigan. He's our best forward. I think you tell him, he's your man. Like Ruben, he doesn't have the size. He has the heart, he has the tenacity, he doesn't have the size, and we got dominated. And Lindsay Collins is a great player, but he's not that alpha.
No.
It's not who he is. I think you tell Paddy Carrigan, that's your man. Again, if anyone's going to know how to stop him, it's going to be the guy that plays with him every single week.
Yeah.
That's the change I'll make. I'll put him at 8.
Do you think it'll be a last minute change that Billy would do?
I don't know. I don't know. He doesn't usually change his team. I think he should.
Yeah.
I hope he does. Because then you've got it's just a better matchup.
Yeah.
Payne Haas, Paddy Carrigan is a better matchup, and then Ruben Cotter and Cam Murray is a better matchup. They're like
Much
for
better
like.
catch
It just makes sense. It's a slight change, but I think that change needs to be made. You look into the back row and the bench. What I was suggesting is I would have had Fafita on my bench, definitely.
Yes.
And I mentioned having Sewer on my bench. Watching on the weekend, I would have Beau Fermor on the bench. To be honest, I would have... And again, it's crazy. Mo Fodawaker is from the Titans. You watch the Titans play, Beau Fermor and Fafita are both playing better than him.
Yes.
How's he the guy from the Titans that's in Origin?
I have no idea.
And you watch the first 2 games, he's been fine.
But he hasn't done
But-
anything extra special.
No. And he's the same fucking size as them. So I would be taking him out. I would have started Kafusi on the edge over Capewell.
Yeah.
Again, love Capewell, but, you know, a couple of years ago, excellent. You know, let's call a spade here. Whereas Kafusi, again, I would be starting him on the edge. I would have Capewell out. Kafusi doesn't have the attack anymore, but
You know he has a defense.
he's been the best defensive edge the last decade. He's still crunching guys. And yeah, you can put him in the front row now and stuff if you want, but I would have had him on the back row starting instead of Capewell.
Yeah.
Fodawaker's out. I would be putting Beau Fermor in there and I'd be putting David Fafita. Fafita matches Lenu. If you watch on the weekend, Beau Fermor plays like what Hopgood didn't. He's offloads. He's mobile.
Yeah.
He's aggressive. You can play him in the back row. You could definitely play in the middle. You can play him in the centers.
Yeah.
I love that. I liked having Hopgood in there because of his offloads. You saw that.
Yeah.
Another forward I think is a little bit overlooked is Christian Welch.
Oh, I think so.
His offloading this year has been unreal. When he starts, I don't like him. Coming off the bench this year, he's been excellent. He's been active.
Is he
He's getting
Queenslander?
over. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
He's
know.
played for Queensland, but then he did his ACL last year.
Oh, that's right.
Or 2 years ago, and then it usually takes your second year and you come back. But yeah, he's a Queenslander. I'd be having Christian Welch in there over Fodawaker. But they're not there, so whatever. So I just don't see how those guys... So clearly we're not going to match them power, so we better get the fucking ball. Because as you saw in game 2, once the ball's even, if we get momentum, it's just like...
It's hard to stop.
It's too much speed, too much mobility, too much agility. New South Wales cannot keep up.
No.
And I think you look at this team, it's going to be the exact same. If New South Wales get the weight of possession, too powerful. Queensland get the weight of possession, too quick. Then you go into 17. Kalen Ponga. Very interesting.
What do you think his role will be? Will it be like Selwyn's or?
Yeah, his role is clearly going to be, he's our back on the bench. He's clearly going to be our cover,
Yeah.
but also come through the middle.
Yeah.
Which you haven't thought of that for him the last few years. That's where he debuted, and he's fucking terrific. He was snapping blokes in the middle. He can do it 1000%.
Yeah.
So, and it's like if you were going to put it back on the bench again, it was going to be Cobbo or Gagai. Well, now they're both playing. They're both starting. So, and watching on the weekend, he came back and he was excellent. A few areas, but he was excellent. Watching on the weekend as well, I am curious. I am a little bit curious if they will make a late swap between Walsh and Ponga. Because watching that Broncos game, the thing I took away the most was obviously how confident Reece Walsh.
Yeah.
He made a concerted effort to get in the line defensive and put hits on. Now, I don't know if that was just him. I'm just going to get confident. I'm just going to get hits. But especially that first 20 minutes, he was putting shots on. He would be in the front line, putting shots on Liam Martin, putting shots on Yo. He was putting shots on. I've never seen Reece Walsh do that.
No.
He was not defending a fullback. He was coming in, making a point to fucking hit blokes.
Yeah.
Ponga wasn't doing that. Ponga was staying at fullback. That kind of has me thinking, well, maybe Reece was... maybe it was just for his confidence. Maybe Billy spoke with him, said, hey, Ponga comes back good. Potentially, let's just want to test him out. See what that defense is like.
Yeah.
Because again,
Very
you know
interesting.
Ponga can do it, but again, if they're both healthy, going into the series, Ponga's my fullback.
Yeah, exactly.
I like Ponga. So that stood out to me. That potentially they make a late switch, put Ponga at fullback and Reece Walsh on the bench again. Also, you look at someone like Falongo, his impact off the bench. I would say the only person that matches him on the first 10 meters, their burst, is Reece Walsh.
Reece Walsh, yeah.
So the more I think about it, the more I want that to happen.
Yeah. I do think Billy will do it.
Who knows? Honestly, I don't know. Interesting again. Reed Marnie, 20th man.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Interesting. Does they start just for experience, or is Grant still under that injury cloud? I don't know. Again, if you want to,
Or is he just going to fucking annoy the shit out of New South Wales?
Well, again, he's the next hooker in line.
Yeah.
So I don't hate it. But that is just the question, is that there for experience, or is that there because you don't know about Harry?
Yeah.
He didn't play last week. He didn't play the week before. Is he
Yeah.
injured? Is he underdone? So potentially Reed Marnie could be in there, which I don't hate, because again, if you want a fucking mongrel, put him in there. Harry's not had the best season. Maybe it's a wake-up call for Harry. Go, hey, I don't know.
I don't know.
But yeah, again, there's only... Obviously, there's only, two... There's a few changes, 2 force. It's just... Yeah, I don't know. I still think... Yeah, I don't know. I still think they win, but...
If Reed Marnie's in
I'm
there...
less confident looking at that team than I was before I saw that team.
Yeah.
You know?
If Reed Marnie's in there, I'll put money on someone throwing a punch.
Oh, yeah.
Someone will throw a punch.
If you want fireworks, put him in there. Maybe put him at 18th man. Just or even again, on the bench, Trent Leary, he's 18th man. I don't know. I could talk about it forever.
But then again, you said some points, and I'm like, well, that is like a good team. And you just know that Billy doesn't do things. Like, he does things because he sees lots of things. So you just really want to know, like, what's he thinking? Because then again, like, no one was 100% sure about his team one, like the game one team. And then they came out and absolutely, like, killed it. Like, his game...
He's not a bad team.
No, but it's just interesting.
It's just tweaks.
So it's like, I wonder what he's thinking and what he wants from the team and how he sees that team beating New South Wales to game 2 team. That's what I want to know. I'd love to have an insight to what he's thinking.
Because that's the thing.
Like, it'd be very interesting.
Because that's the thing. I would just make a few tweaks, but those few tweaks completely change how the team plays. I'm bringing tweaks in to get more power and more offloads.
Yeah. So he's thinking something completely different, and I just hope New South Wales don't think too much about what Billy's thinking and just play their game.
But I like that though. It is I like from both coaches have stuck to their guns.
They're playing what they think their team. They're playing to their team strengths.
Yeah.
Like last year, Freddie, they've tried to do the double hooker thing, and he's tried. New South Wales have tried so hard to just match Queensland and play Queensland's game better than them. This doesn't work.
No.
So I like this year that Madge is just going, no, I want to. Even game 2, they were under pressure, and he was like, no, I trust this game. I trust this game style, and we're going to continue with it.
Exactly.
So I like that from both teams, and now Billy's done that this game.
Yeah, exactly. They've stuck to their guns.
This is like one of the first years that people are actually thinking that New South Wales can win in Queensland and have an opportunity, have a chance to win game 3 at Suncorp. And Billy's like, no, I want to stick to what I think my game plan is.
Yeah.
I like it.
So, Queensland 16-12. Thanks for coming.
New South Wales 18-16.
Nah, that's silly. Look, moving on to the round that was, a round review. Mm-hmm. Good round.
It was a good round.
Good round. Starting off at Combank Stadium.
Not
the
a good
Eels
start for us.
Going down 16-32 to the Bunnies.
I don't know why I keep believing in them.
Sorry again for all my coughing. Yeah.
I don't know why I keep believing in the Eels. They just keep losing.
It was...
And the Bunnies are on that's 5 in a row now.
Well, the Rabbits are back again. The Rabbits... Yeah. I've said it since day one. They're
too good.
They're ninth place.
No.
And it's coming more and more alive. They were never a premiership contender for me.
No.
They're still not a premiership contender. But they're definitely better than a wooden spoon team.
Yeah.
They're playing like it. They've got some identity. They've got some hope. And it shows that Wayne impact.
Yeah.
As soon as he signed on, 5 straight.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they played good, but again, the score blew out in the last 10 minutes. The big takeaway was, it was a bit of a reality check for New South Wales, I think.
Moses didn't have a great game.
Hey, good couple games. Great game for New South Wales.
Great game for the Eels in that round
Not
too.
Superman. He had a stinker. Didn't play good at all.
Not a great game, but that's okay. He can get it out now.
So, unfortunately, I was brainwashed into the New South Wales media hype. That's why I went the Eels, and I was just bitterly disappointed. So, I kind of feel how you felt the last 20 years.
Yeah.
So, it was, and I don't want to feel that feeling again. But the big take, another thing I liked, shout out Charlie Guiner on debut, has to be in the 17 every week. Who's their best player on debut? This fucking 19-year-old forward from tomorrow. It was unreal. He was just trucking nut, putting on shots, trucking more nut. It was excellent. The game itself was kind of shit, to be honest with you.
It wasn't a great game.
That wasn't a great game. Another not great game was the Sharks going down 16-20 at Coffs Harbour to the Titans.
The Sharks. I really thought that they were desperate and that they needed this win too. It's just disappointing. I didn't watch this game because I was out, I think. But the Titans are so hard to tip. They 1 week they smash the Warriors, and then the next week they get smashed by the Tigers. It's just like I just can't pick it. That's why it made me nervous, and I changed to the Sharks, but I shouldn't have.
Yeah, well, you gotta flip a coin. One of those teams is a toilet team, and the other team is bipolar. So, and honestly, that's reversible too. You could say that for both of them. The Sharks suck. I don't believe in the Sharks. Never have, never will.
Sorry, Shark.
The Titans, you don't really get this year.
Yeah.
Just when you think that they're putting it together, they lose to the Tigers. And then they pump the fucking Warriors, who've put it together, by 60. You come into this game, they have a bye, you're like, I don't know what the fuck's going to happen. But I believed in them more than the Sharks. So that tells you an awful lot.
Yeah.
It was 12-0 after about 10 minutes to the Titans. You're going, holy, kids are on. They don't score for the next 30, 40, 50 minutes. Like, what the fuck? All of a sudden, the Sharks in the second half storm home. But, it's just, it's interesting. You're watching the Sharks now versus last season. It's a different team.
No, it's a
They're playing with no confidence. No structure. Poor old Nico, he's not doesn't look confident. But it's the whole team.
Feel bad.
It was actually tough to watch them play. They looked terrible.
It's like when they played Melbourne and the Roosters at the beginning of the year, they were a team that wasn't making many errors.
Yeah.
And they looked structured, they looked confident, they looked strong, they trusted their game ability.
And now it's the
complete opposite.
And the story about the Sharks has always been they beat the bad teams.
Yeah.
Titans are a bad team.
And now they're losing to the bad teams.
And they should have won by more. Again, they stormed home, and there's no class. Again, the Sharks, they can score a try from anywhere.
Yeah.
Fucking Ronaldo Mulatalo is trying his guts out. Again, if he could play Origin, he would certainly be in the discussion. Because he's an excellent player, but yeah, I don't know what the Sharks are doing, but you watch that, I don't know how their slide stops.
I've got no idea.
I think without Nico, they'll all have to step up if he is out, because it's kind of like, well, now as the ball dominant guy's gone, you got to step up. Trindle's been playing good, but
I don't know. If something's got to change.
Something's got to change. The Broncos, Friday night, lose 6-14 to the Panthers. Yeah. Disappointing in a loss, but it was very positive signs for the Broncos. They've lost 4 straight now, but it was that loss was certainly different to the Sharks' loss.
It was a much different, and it was different to their loss last week. What did they lose last week? They lost 32-16 to the Warriors.
Yeah.
So
they tried. Reece was unreal, but again, it shows the importance of halfback. They're already missing Adam Reynolds, and then with about 20-30 to go, Jock Madden tears his hamstring. So then Reece Walsh is basically playing 7. It was pretty much at that point the game was over. It was I think it was 8-6 at that point, and then they couldn't hang after that. But again, Penrith for Penrith, and Broncos look better, but I guess it just shows the importance of Adam Reynolds and that they're not ready to lose him yet.
No,
Because like their attack isn't even
it's not the same.
no.
But then again, with Adam Reynolds at the beginning of the year, it wasn't looking great either.
No.
Because they were a team that was scoring. If they got the ball in like on their own line, they were looking more likely to score than if they got the ball in their attacking 20.
Yes, true. And that's still the same now.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they're in the 20, they look terrible. They don't even look close to scoring. They're a distance team. It is very interesting. Bulldogs, the Warriors, next game, 13-12. We already touched on it. But
Easily best game of the round.
game of the year. It was unreal.
It was so good. And who would have thought the game of the year would have been the Dogs versus the
At the
Warriors?
start of the year, wouldn't have thought. But that was unreal. The fucking Bulldogs just find a way to win. That last 20 minutes was awesome in that game.
Awesome. You just didn't know what was going to happen. It was
No.
so good.
It was so good. The Wires are back. The Bulldogs are fucking firing.
Mm-hmm.
They're a top 8 team for sure.
100%. Just what they've done when you give like the coach more than a year, just what they've done it's incredible.
Yeah, it was
And
awesome.
changing from poor Drew Hutchinson, do feel a bit bad for him. He can't get a starting position. But I think it's time that he retires the halfback and tries going into a centre or a front row or
I think he's a
row.
lock.
Something different. He's just not a 7.
No.
And since they've changed to Toby Sexton, that's when the wins have really started coming on top of each other.
Yeah, and it highlights the importance of a good system.
Yeah.
And a good system like the Roosters, you could chuck them in. Jesus Christ. The
Not
Cowboys have
doing
killed
well.
me. No, it's actually painful to talk.
That's all right.
But yeah, at the Roosters, he looked all right at 7. He looked all right at
You
centre.
could chuck him in because he had the people around him. At the Bulldogs, he's very exposed.
It was alarming watching a 7 run the ball on the 5th tackle. I've never seen it happen more consistently than it did with Drew Hutchinson.
The only person that can do that consistently, I think, at the moment is Jerome Hughes.
Yeah. But again, he likes running on the 5th. He'll pass or kick.
But that's what I mean.
Drew would run
take the tackle.
and take the tackle. He might be 30 out. You go, nah, boys, I got this. Oh, fuck. Sorry, fellas. It's like he's got amnesia. He gets it.
But he just tries so hard.
He's
but,
a nut trucker,
but you just got to move him to a position where he can do that. He's just not a 7.
I think if he's looking for NRL time, I think 13.
He's got to get out of
Obviously,
7.
he's got the ball playing.
Yeah. But his kicking
Yeah.
game is also so mediocre as well. It's so boring,
Yeah.
and you know exactly where it's going to go.
Just on mediocre kicking games. Back to the Titans quickly. Tanner Boyd. I never noticed it until this year. I don't remember him being a bad kicker until this year. His kicking game, not good this year. I think he unfortunately has studied the Drew Hutchinson playbook.
No,
You're looking at the wrong halfback. Tanner, you're looking at the wrong halfback.
I need to look at Cherry Evans' kicking game,
It's not true. Sorry.
or Jerome Hughes.
Yeah, looking at the wrong halfback, boy.
Looking at the wrong them. But so yeah, it's a shame, but it's just so good to see the Dogs just grinding it out, and
Yeah. And again, look what happens when you give a coach more than a year.
yeah,
Look what happens.
and that fuck it footy that they're playing, it's so good.
Yeah. The highlight of all the bad teams. You look at the next game, Tigers 28, Storm 40.
The difference in their footy
Bucket
between
footy.
the difference between last week against the Roosters, where they just tried to grind it out with the Roosters, and until the last 3 minutes where they decide to play fuck it footy, oh look at that, they score a try.
Yeah.
I was like, and then this week against the Storm, they were winning at one point.
Yeah.
I was like, they were moving the ball early. They weren't trying to play structured. They were just getting the ball, moving the ball from one sideline to the other sideline. They had quick ball movement. I think the Tigers just looked pretty good. Unfortunately, their biggest difference was that the Storm have had 3 suspensions all year. Sin bin, sorry. And they've had 13. So
Yeah.
and they had another one on
And
Saturday.
it's just dumb. They're always dumb.
Such
They're
dumb
just
sin
dumb.
bins.
And it's always when the game's in the balance. I think at that point it's 12-all. He goes off. He comes back on. It's 24-12. Yeah, like any game, what do they lose by? 12.
And they didn't even look like, like for example, like the Dragons game, the Dragon Roosters, like the Dragons, it took them effort to score their tries. But I was like, but they didn't even look like they had to
They're a good team, the Tigers.
They weren't putting in all the effort that they previously have had to score their tries. Like, they were moving the ball well. They were finding good space. And obviously, I think it would have been a different story against a healthy Melbourne defensive line than that defensive line. But they played well. It's the score line. I mean, they only lost by 12.
Yeah, they only lost by 12, but yeah, and it's a shame for the Tigers because they don't have the results to show up.
No.
They're playing so much better than last year.
Completely different Tigers side.
So just give Benji a fucking wait till next year.
Wait till next year.
the end of
He's
next
going
year,
to
then
get
you can criticize.
Jerome, who's going to be playing with Lockie Galvin, I think. So that'll be a great matchup. That'd be great.
They're great. They're playing good football. Like, again, it's their discipline. That's what kills them. And I feel bad for Benji because he basically says the same thing after every game. Like, that's what's killing them. They're in games for 50 minutes, 60 minutes, 70 minutes.
Discipline.
But they're always missing a guy. They're always giving away penalties. Just when the game's in the balance or they're just starting to get the upper foot, they'll give away penalties. They'll start making errors. They'll get binned. It's just every game, every week in, week out, it's the same story. So it would be disappointing for Tigers fans, but they're definitely playing better.
I think give them next year, I think they could be like the Dogs kind of this year.
Just give them a couple of years.
Just give them some
time. Let them build. Again, Lockie Galvin's playing great this year. He's 19 in his 10th game. Bull is only in his second year. Give these guys Dewey's in his third game back. Just give them time.
But I think it's definitely good signs. Benji, he really is changing the culture over there at the Tigers.
Oh, definitely.
Which is really good to see.
Definitely. Melbourne.
It's just
same old.
Like, they literally they don't have Xavier Coates. They haven't had Munster for barely any of the season. Harry Grant's out. Nick Meaney's out. They have so many people out, and they still managed to concede 40 points. I mean,
even this game was only Pappy's first game back. You got Sua on the bench. We lost Nas. We lost Bronson. We lost Alec. So we finished the game with one on the bench. Yeah, he still scored 40 problems. No, it's like when they click, no one can go with them.
Nah.
It's just a problem this year. It's just, again, because the lineup's changing every fucking week and we don't have us consistent spine players.
Your defense isn't what it should be.
Defense isn't there, but on the...
Your attack.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is on the attack, when it clicks, it clicks. I'm saying it's not clicking as often, which has been the story this year.
Yeah.
It's you're just watching them and it's the last pass is failing, the execution's failing.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying that's because we don't have the players.
Yeah.
But when it does click, no one can go with them. And the defense, this year has been a lot weaker. But again, lineup changes every fucking week. That makes sense.
The big one was because you can definitely see but Jack Howarth is coming into the side really well.
Oh, keeping the centers.
Yeah.
Big, strong. Again, the timing's off, the understanding's off. I get that. But
he made some good runs and big shots in defense.
He's a fucking beast. Keep him in the centers. Yeah, and like once he gets that partnership with Hughes,
learn.
Look at the partnership with Hughes and Katoa. Now you put Katoa on one side of Hughes and Howarth on the other side of Hughes. Think of those runs. Think of those damaging ball running lines. So I've been loving seeing him in there.
My biggest standout for Melbourne Storm probably was Wishart.
Yeah, Tyrone Wishart. He's probably player of the year. Again, you sort of have to give it to Jerome Hughes, but
he's playing. He's stepped up so much, and I just love that Munster obviously is the best 6 in the game, and I just love that Tyrone Wishart hasn't tried to change his game to play like Munster. Like he's playing his own game, and he's doing really well, and he's fitting in well with them. He has a great partnership with Hughes.
Yeah, he's been awesome.
Yeah. And so much credit to him. He's trying stuff. He's not afraid to try the stuff.
No, he never has been. But he's been unreal. Pappy Stewart, that connection.
Oh, that was so cool.
You build that. That's going to be deadly.
I love the little mentor role that Pappenhausen's taken on. Like as soon as Suar came onto the field, like they ran straight over to each other. Yeah. Organised what they were going to do.
Yeah, it is. It's great. And again, it shows that you see the difference when Pappy's at fullback and Suar.
He's just learning.
Suar's not ready. He's a great player, but he's not ready. I love him on the field. I want him on the bench. I don't want him at fullback.
And you see even like a couple of his defensive decisions in the wing, he just wasn't still quite sure where he should go.
Like, with all due respect, he's not like...
No.
You just call it how it is. Like, he's not a good defender. His attack's unreal, but you see the difference in class and experience. So, again, I want him on the bench.
But it's Pappy's jersey.
I'd like him on the wing. it's Pappy's jersey. And you're sort of getting reminded of that, especially in defense. But
Pappy's defense was actually excellent
Yeah, he
against the Tigers. Like some of those tackles you don't expect him to make, but he saved like 3 tries.
yeah, he doesn't get the credit for it, but he's an excellent defender. And he organizes the defense very well.
Yeah.
But yeah, and he puts his body on the
On the
line.
line. Like he saved like 3 tries that were like, if he wasn't there, if he didn't have his hand in this specific position, put his body in that position, they were over.
Yeah. So it's good to see. But the other thing is, like, you mentioned Wishart. And we talked about it,
Yeah.
what I'm interested in seeing, and I've mused before about having Munster at 13, which I do love the idea of it,
Yeah.
but watching the way Wishart plays and watching the way Connor Watson plays, I would love to see, and again, something we've never had, ball paying lock. We got big boppers, but they're all the same, stock standard. The issue is, I want Wishart at 14. He's a perfect 14, but you also want Sewer on the bench.
14.
You run a serious risk if you have Sewer on the bench and him. Now you have 2 forwards on the bench, potential for risk there, but you want both of them on there.
Yeah.
And I think it's unfair if one of them misses out. Way around that, in my opinion, when Munster comes back, I would love to see Sewer at 14 and Wishart at 13.
And
You've seen him play at 9. You've seen him play at 6. You've seen him play at 13. You've seen him play in the middle. You know he can defend. You know he's got the ball playing. You know he's got the running.
I think it'll open up Melbourne's attack too.
It would open up their attack. It gives them a whole nother dimension. You're now putting less stress on Munster.
Pappy, Hughes, Munster,
and Hughes.
and Wishart all on the field at the same time. And then Sewer as well.
He's the same size and build as Watson. Look at Watson's impact in the middle.
It's huge impact.
Now
He
Sewer,
can also go, if injury to 9, Harry Grant, he also can slot straight
he
into
can
9.
he can cover the entire every position.
Yeah.
And you put him at 13, you play him about 50 minutes, you bring him off for a rest and you put on a forward, you put on Nas or Trent Liero in 13. That's how you do it. But now you got Sewer, who, you can even put Sewer on there, but Sewer can't defend at 13,
No.
so you defend him on the wing or whatever and bring him in for attack through the middle. But Wishy, his leg drive, his speed,
He
ball
can defend
playing,
in the middle.
I would love to see that. So, Craig, I know you're listening. That's what I want to see. The next game, something that I don't want to see, Cowboys going down 20-21 to Manly. We already talked about it. Should have won by 40. They didn't. But their attack, again, it's kind of story this year. Look great in patches, look terrible in patches. They bombed so many tries.
So many tries. They had so many opportunities down there.
The only real big talking point besides what we've already mentioned is Turbo's return,
Yeah.
which I think we did already mention. Yeah, he didn't.
Didn't.
Again, it's first game back, so it's good just to get the nerves
Nerves
out,
out.
get the pressure
But
out.
he didn't get himself, involved. And you could tell.
No, and now Cool is out for like 4 weeks apparently, so they get nervous and put him back there at fullback? I hope
don't
not.
know. I think
Do you
he
keep
needs to stay in the
Hopewadi
centres.
back there? I do. But again, why the fuck did you put Hopewadi there for the last 6 weeks just then as soon as Turbo comes back, you move him and put Cooler there, who was playing the
weird.
whole time. It doesn't make any sense.
It's weird. But the one thing I did like about the Cherry Evans Saab connection is getting really strong.
Yeah, but he's done his hamstring
String
again. I think,
again,
so he's out
so-
again. He's having such a harsh year. Poor old Sabi, but
So many hammies in that team and in general.
just in general, but yeah. The Roosters defeat the Dragons 42-12. It was tough to watch.
It was a
because
bit
of how
tough.
stop-start it was.
The second half was better to watch.
But yeah, like the Dragons, again, every time you think it's hard, this score really blew out the last 20 minutes.
20 minutes, yeah, it did.
Like with 30 minutes to go, it was 12-14 for the Roosters.
For the Roosters.
It was a
yeah.
nail biter. Then it blew out.
The things we were talking about during the game is that the Roosters were scoring like on their first opportunity. Like the Dragons had to work exceptionally hard for those 12 points. They had to work so hard. Well, the Roosters, as soon as they were down that end, score.
Yeah, and it's a game that it highlights why Ben Hunt is far and away the most try assist in the comp. Because he's the only one who can do
He
anything.
was trying so hard. He was making he was creating different things. He was trying chip and chase. He was trying different kicks, and no one was with him.
No, with him. The whole game, no one supported each other.
No one. It was like the biggest difference. Like 2 Dragons people would run, but there would be like 6 or 7 Roosters players there to shut it down.
Yeah.
It's like they just didn't have the man, and Zach didn't really get involved that much.
We couldn't. They didn't.
But that's what I mean. They
he
didn't
was taking
kick
runs,
to
but
him.
the only runs he could get is shit hit ups.
But they really, what's the word? They shut
him down.
him down.
And then the Dragons couldn't get him the ball. Like,
Yeah.
That's the risk of having someone like that on the wing.
Yeah.
If you get him the ball, fantastic. If you
if
can't
you can't
get him the ball,
get him the ball. So that was probably the biggest highlight of that game, other than Jared's sin bin and then blood running down the face that he refused to get taped up.
Yeah, it was pretty badass,
it was so funny. And Spencer Linu's runs were insane.
Someone's been
Insane.
watching Backfence Brown's highlights. That's for fucking certain.
Yeah, it was such a Nathan Brown. And then on one, he like wanted another hit up, and then they kicked it straight to him. But then the Roosters, for some reason, went over the other side.
That was Ben Hunt saying, "I'm sick of this team. Fucking defense
Ben-
Spencer
Ben-
again." So
Yeah.
they were actually saved. There's probably Lindsay going, "Hey, nah,
No.
we don't give."
But
them
like
this."
one run and he was literally made like 30 meters. It was insane.
It makes you think. Like, imagine if that was Jared's 100th game and he's playing with Spencer.
Oh, Jared in
Would
his
that be the
prime.
most aggressive front row period of all fucking
Oh
time?
my God.
God.
Would have been Sin Bin Saturday.
That'd be fantastic, but you'd never see them together.
No.
One would be in the bin every week.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
Yeah,
Roosters.
great sign for the Roosters. Sam Walker and Luke Keary are having a much better connection. Like Luke Keary, I think they're kind of taking turns steering the ship, but they're giving the ball to Sam Walker when he's wanting it.
Yeah, they've made it much more. I reckon they've modelled it off of Melbourne's pairing, where when Munster wants the ball, he gets it, but Jerome steers the ship.
Yeah.
It's similar in the Roosters now. Finally, Walker steers the ship.
Yeah.
But when Keary wants it, he gets it. And that's exactly how it should be.
And it's looking really good. And they're kicking for each other. They're chasing off each other.
And fucking
It's
Sam Walker's short kicking game.
It's
and again,
so good.
If you can do a grubber kick to both back rowers, you know you're doing something right.
He's kicking to both. Like one side, it was who that scored.
Yeah, Radley scored.
Radley
one
scored,
on the right,
and
Crichton
then
scores one on the
Crichton.
left.
And it's literally all the time he's kicking for the back rows, and he's like literally just getting it the perfect bounce and the perfect space through both defenders' legs. It's like it's insane.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
What happens when you give a halfback more than like a couple years, like a young halfback, more than a couple years to learn?
Exactly.
He's playing excellent.
So again,
And also his goal kicking game is also another thing that could help him get into Queensland because Val's running on thin ice.
Val's goal kicking is
saving him.
It's saving his jersey, to be honest with you. But again, you watch this game and again, the way he plays, it's very similar to Cherry Evans.
It is.
So it will be very interesting once Cherry Evans
retires. What will happen?
That battle for that seven. Right now, it's clearly Dearden. But Walker keeps playing like this, he's going to make himself undeniable. It does surprise me a little bit. He hasn't been in the squad at all,
yet,
ever.
no. But he is only like 21 or something, 22.
But like Billy is very big on like
he'd be kept in the loop.
Yeah, he'd be in the loop surely, but it is interesting.
Maybe he wants to see if he can pull it a little bit consistency. I mean, this is his first kind of season where he's consistently playing well.
And then again, unfortunately, the reality is
Cherry Evans. Yeah, he's size.
I mean, for Origin.
He'd be targeted so bad.
He would make 40 tackles.
Yeah.
And he'd put his body in the line, but it would destroy his body.
So
that's the reality. But next game, the last game of the round, the Raiders go down 12-16. Now, again, it was at Canberra, so you knew the Raiders were going to lose.
Go the Knights.
That simple.
Are the Knights coming back?
Knights storming back. What's that? 4 in a row, 5 in a row.
Yeah.
They just got Ponga back. It wasn't at Newcastle, so they were going to win. I mean, this game again, interesting. They should have won by more, but Raiders don't go away. It was an excellent last 20 minutes. Well, on one hand it was excellent, but on the other hand it was disgusting because I've never seen more errors in a game of football in my life. Honest to God, there was a period there, maybe 10 minutes, where 10 minutes straight, every single set was a knock-on. It was a knock-on Raiders. Then the Knights are yipping and yahooing. They get the ball, they fucking knock on. Then the Raiders get the ball, they forward pass. Now the Knights get the ball, they forward pass. Now the Raiders get the ball, they knock on. Now the Knights get the ball, they kick out the full. It was
painful.
So it was so exhilarating. It was intense, but it got tough. So the Raiders grit, attack, So we'll just grit. They show grit. They're
They
showing
show
heart,
grit.
which they hadn't shown for a few weeks.
So that was good to see.
They desperately missing Fogarty.
He comes back
It's just
soon.
they're
I think.
looking more like what you expected them to look like this year.
Yeah.
I think they overachieved early, where they were scoring all these points and no one saw that coming.
Yes.
And they were winning all these games. This is now kind of just where you thought they would be. Like 12th place, competitive. They won't go away.
Gritty.
But
Just losing games, just winning games.
That's
Kind of
why-
how they were last year.
yeah, so it feels like a 4, but I feel like this is just more the reality.
Yeah.
And what you expected. Knights, on the other hand, you can see it. Like,
Yeah.
it's clicking. They're getting
Pong
their mojo
is back
back.
now.
It's they're making all these half chances. They're just not executing like they were last year. But you can see it each week. They're getting a little bit more.
Yeah.
Ponga back. It was interesting. It was almost like they were intentionally not going through him.
Yeah.
Like, he was there screaming for the ball, and they would just
They
go,
weren't giving
nah,
it to him.
we'll just go the other way.
But the Knights could be our home team next year. Exciting.
Could be, but yeah, it was interesting. Yeah, man, they just need to get Pong on the ball. But like, they just do. And it's like, I get that maybe you don't want to rely on him, but just rely on him. Just get him the ball.
Just getting the ball.
Just get him the fucking ball.
You can see it. He wants it. Give it
Just
to
get
him.
him the fucking ball. It's actually that simple. Just get him the ball. Especially if he's going down the left side. Just get him the ball.
I'm really excited to see what he does do at Origin, though.
Oh, yeah.
I'm very excited to see
Oh,
that.
he's gonna
He's
kill,
gonna kill it.
If he stays 14 or like on the bench,
He's gonna
he'll
kill
kill
it.
it. If he has to cover a back,
He'll kill it.
wow. I'm nervous to see. It's ironic that I am more confident in him defending in the middle than I am him defending on center and wing.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But I think maybe they'd move someone else to defend on the center and the wing and put him to
They'd
defend in the
accommodate.
middle.
He would defend the centers. I'm not putting fucking Kurt Capel back out there.
No.
All due respect. Like, again, he would do fine, but
Yeah.
it's more you have to think in that position. I've seen him rip and tear in the middle. I'm very excited to see him back.
Me too. I'm excited.
But, yeah, I don't know. Origin this year just had a different feel to
It has.
It hasn't been as exciting.
It has for
I'm kind of
me.
sick of. I think it's just the way the media are trying to like force these quotes.
The media is making it hard. I really think next year what they really need to do is, one, release the teams together. Two, absolutely no leaking of teams.
Oh, seriously.
And stop with all this just
And
media headlines
have
and
press
stuff.
conferences with the both
coaches,
both captains.
Make it more of
There.
a united thing.
Make it like a UFC press conference.
Yeah.
I want that. I don't want this media leaking everything and then Danny Wilder begging for quotes, forcing this glass house. I'm still hearing glass houses. Or like Queensland today, like, because they didn't like let the media talk to their players today. Just today.
Yeah.
Until they're all arriving, because they're arriving at different times, whatever. And all of a sudden, it's they're saying that Queensland hates their fans. They're banning their fans from talking to the media.
You just have the Origin ball. I just noticed that.
73 minutes. That's pretty good from you to notice that.
Thank you.
Yes, that is why I put it there.
Yeah.
But yeah, like begging to get the glass houses still begging. Trying to say that Queensland hates their fans, hates their supporters. Oh, New South Wales is now, we're a team for the fans, for the people.
They're just changing it every now and again. It's just driving me a bit nuts.
It's like it is ironic and funny. You just see like Billy's Freddie now.
Yeah.
They're just trying to shape him into Freddie.
They love him and they hate him. And they love him and they hate him.
Force him.
That's what the media does.
Force things. Force.
But Billy
goals.
won't bite.
And that's what's annoying. He won't bite. So just give up. Just stop.
I just wish, I really think they do need to take her idea. Maybe we should start commenting it everywhere.
Seriously.
Then we can get a call up. We can host the show.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if Billy calls it quits, I could probably coach Queensland as well.
Yeah.
Captain coach. Pick myself.
You'd die. Literally knocked out first run.
Fullback. That's a bold choice. Nah, I'll be modest. Go defensive centre. I'll take the trail.
You'd die.
Fake a habby. First run. Oh, fuck. Just go back over to the coach's box.
Oh, well, on to next week's games. There's only a few because obviously it is Origin camp.
Yep, this is the poostling around,
So-
the third of the year.
So first game, Dolphins, Rabbitohs.
Now,
I don't know.
time of record, this is pre-team list.
Pre-team list. My mind is actually telling me to go Rabbitohs.
But if you look at their percentages against each other, it is 100% head-to-head for the Rabbitohs.
Yeah.
They're 1-0 against the Dolphins.
So, but I think I'm going to go Rabbitohs because I think no Latrell, no Cam Murray for the Rabbitohs. Is there anyone else? I don't think so.
That's it.
But I'm thinking they can't win this. So I think this is a game the Dolphins should win. But when you think the Dolphins should win, you don't tip them. So I'm tipping the Rabbitohs.
Well, it is at Red Cliff, so it's at the actual stadium. The Dolphins are on a slide, lost 4 of the last 5. No Jeremy Marshall-King.
No Hammer.
No Hammer.
No Kaufusi.
But, see, I'm the opposite of you. Look at the Rabbitohs. Look how hot they are. Yes, no Latrell. Yes, no Murray.
Oh, no, I'm changing. I want to go Dolphins.
They're so hot right now. I think that they win. And I think the Dolphins will lose. So I'm actually going to listen to my advice once. I think the Dolphins will lose. I'm going to tip them. So I'm tipping Dolphins. Next game, the Sharks take on West Tigers. This game at Shark Park. Sharks are a toilet team.
I actually tipped the Tigers after the Sharks last game already because I was over them. This is the second week in a row I've tipped them and they keep letting me down.
Well, what if they lost 4 in a row?
They've lost 4 in a row now.
3 in a row, I think.
3 in a row. The Tigers are desperate for a win. 2. I don't know. Shark Park. I think I'm going to tip the Tigers. Subject to change.
I think the last time they met this year was... I can't... The
Tigers are
won like 38-0 or 28-0. No, 32-6, sorry. I am going Sharks.
I'm going Tigers.
Sharks are desperate. I think if Nico truly is out, I think Trindle's going to step up.
But the Sharks are so desperate. Like, I really don't know if they'll lose this game at Shark Park to the Tigers.
They have to win. Again, the Tigers, and they'll want revenge. The Tigers beat them this year. I want to give a shout out to Will Kennedy. I think he's having an unreal year.
Yeah, same.
The Tigers, again, I think this game will be relatively close. The Tigers certainly can win.
I feel like it's going to be a lot of tries.
But the difference is, I think the Tigers can win. I think the Sharks have to win.
Yeah.
I think they have to win.
They will go into this game.
They don't need to win pretty, but I think they have to win, so I'm going Sharks. Next game, Titans take on Parramatta. Issue. This game is at Seabus Super Stadium. Titans fucking hate playing
But last time they won.
They won their last home game. The Eels, no Moses, and I've given up on them, frankly.
I have to go the Titans. I'm sorry.
I'm going Titans.
I'm going Titans.
They've won 2 in a row. AJ potentially
Fafita
back.
is going to want another big game.
Fafita will want a big game. Or he's just given up on life. It'll be one or the other. He will come out and not try at all and just be like, doesn't fucking matter what happens. Or he's going to come out, score 3 tries and a huge FU to the state.
Yeah.
I hope he actually does that as his try celebration. Like, for my wrestling fans, NWO, right on the belt, NWO. Or Bret Hart, after getting screwed, Montreal Screwjob does the NWO. WCW does the WCW sign on the WWF TV. Does David Fafita do a big, does he get a ball post-try and sign New South Wales NSW as just a big fuck you to Queensland? Or if he doesn't want to be that harsh, does a big QLD and then just boots it into the stadium? You don't tell me that'd be sick?
That'd be so funny.
The New South Wales one would be hardcore. The Queensland one's still sick.
But then again, does he really want to piss Billy off even
more? He already
more?
has. That'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah, I know, it's true.
So,
I'm going Titans.
AJ back, potentially. If he is back, it'll be interesting to see if he's at 1 or at 6. I think he has to be at 6. Keeney's been too good at 1. He's just in such a tough spot because he's so loyal, but he's their best fullback. But Keeney's been killing it. Tanner Boyd, unfortunately, again, watching the kicking highlights of Drew Hutchinson has affected his play. Before and fucking killing it. He's not aging like a fine wine, but he's aging like a whiskey. Yeah. So he's doing good. I think Titans.
I'm going Titans.
I think they're on. Broncos
Those
take on the
Dragons.
Dragons in the fourth game of the round.
No Origin players for either. I think I'm going to have to go Broncos. Again, they're desperate. This is 4 and 11.
They're so
They're
desperate.
desperate.
And the Dragons, like...
No Ben Hunt, no Zach Lomax. Jaden Sewer will be out.
But then the last time the Dragons had no Origin players, they versus Penrith and won.
Yeah, no, but Penrith also had no... They had, like...
But it was at Penrith.
Yeah, I know.
But you're versing Penrith fill-ins.
I know, but I just...
I know, but I'm just saying, like,
I know.
you don't expect
But Penrith
anything.
weren't desperate.
No, I'm going Broncos. I think
I'm going
they're too
Broncos.
desperate.
I'm going Broncos by 6.
I think it's 2. Not everyone, tips on arrow.com, by the way. So
Sorry.
you have to say a margin. But yes, look, I think it is a close game, though. I agree. I think it's close. I think it's tight. I think it's ugly. I think it's a poo slinger.
Yeah.
I think it's a disgusting
Not
game.
a great game.
And frankly, the first 20 minutes will dictate whether I
Yeah.
watch the next 60.
This game, I'm just really unsure about every single one of these tips. I don't know if any of them are right.
Well, the last game of the round, the Sea Eagles take on the Knights at Four Pines Park.
I don't know. No Cherry Evans, no Gerbo.
The Knights are the real deal.
But
I'm
then
tipping the
no
Knights.
Ponga.
I'm tipping the Knights.
But
the
then
Knights have
like
turned it.
Sunday afternoon at Brookvale.
That's what I thought. So originally I went Manly for that very reason. Some home grounds are more powerful than others. Brookie,
I
Sunday
just don't
Arvo,
think
very
they can.
powerful.
I just don't know if they can win without Cherry Evans. It's like
I don't think they can. I don't even know. Last time they didn't have Cherry Evans, I think they were playing fucking Carl Lawton at halfback. So I don't know who.
I'm going Knights. You swaying me to Manly, but I'm going to go Knights.
Okay, Knights. The Knights are the real deal. They've hit their form.
Yeah.
They've won 5 in a row. Maybe not 5 in a row. How many have they won in a row?
I don't know. Anyway, to
Oh
recap.
shit! They've only won 2 in a row.
Yeah, 2 in a row.
They lost 3 in a row. My apologies, but they have.
Oh no, the No Origin people, the Rabbitohs beat them 14-0 to Manly. That's the last time
Yeah,
they
the
played without
poo
Cherry
slinger.
Evans.
Well, Knights have only won the last 2. But in fairness, they lost by 8 points to Penrith, by 8 points to Storm, and then they had that weird game where they got blown out by the Bulldogs. But again, the Bulldogs this year are the different team.
Yeah.
Wow, so I was way off with my 5 in a row, but
But they weren't playing bad when they lost,
because
though.
before that, I
but
think
they
they had
played
won 3 in a
Storm,
row.
Penrith, yeah.
Either way, I'm going Newcastle.
I'm going Newcastle. All right, so to recap, Dolphins, Bunnies. Dolphins, Sharks, Tigers. Sharks, Titans, Eels. Titans, Broncos, Dragons, Broncos. And Manly, Knights.
Can't help but feel like you're copying me.
I'm
Which
not.
It feels like a strategy to keep your lead, which again, it's terrible sportsmanship and I would never do it, but I can't blame you.
Our last 5 rounds, we went exactly the same tips. It's the rounds that have 8 that we go different.
It just feels like you're basically forcing me
Well,
to
fine.
change to Rabbitohs, Tigers, Eels, Dragons, and Manly. You're forcing me into tying this round or going down 10.
Well, there's a high chance that I might still swap to the Eels, so I don't know.
No, it's fine. If that choose who you believe.
But I believe
Sorry
in
for all
this
the
at the moment. But anyway.
Yeah, so look, gone 5-5. Good to hear. Good to know. And look, we'll see you next week. Remember, as always, leave a rating, like, review, subscribe, all that good stuff, and leave a listener question. If in the Spotify description, if you do follow us on Instagram at FinNG. That is the word, not the symbol.
And
have a good day.
Bye.
Hooroo.